Plain Jane on my wrist, for real. LV on my chick, for real. Waco taking risks, for real. Went through hell to get to this, for real. I'm not pressed with making lists, for real. I stay low and stack my chips, for real. You keep looking for a flip, for real. That's not wealth, that's rich, for real. 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 Really real. Really real. Really real. Really real. For real. For real. For real. For real. No liens on the whip, for real. I get bored, I take a trip, for real. Take a loss, I never trip, for real. Been in shock, I'm not a lick, for real. Don't trust the soul, it's on my hip, for real. Make a move and you get hit, for real. No pictures by the crib, for real. Can't let them know just why I live, for real. 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 Really real. Really real. Really real. Really real. For real. For real. For real. For real. Plain Jane on my wrist, for real. LV on my chick, for real. Waco taking risks, for real. Went through hell to get to this, for real.
Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, won't stop, yeah. I'm so handsome. All in Carmine's with my Benz, ooh, I'm so fancy. No romancing. Got my baby and she right, she make you vanish. No time to play, got book dates. Had to plan, only had to wait. Always knew I'd make a way. Send the bill, they send the pay. Keep it real, keep the record straight. Keep it real, no time to fake. All authentic in my own lane. I am me till I'm in the grave. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while.
Good morning all. Yes sir. How are you doing? Happy Friday to all. Hope we are all well. Let me see how all systems go. Let's get it. Morning all. Yes sir, Friday, end of the week. And it's actually not the last trading day of the month actually, but today is the last trading day before the change of time zone, right? Daylight saving time, not time zone, but daylight saving times will change after today, and we will be trading 1 hour later. So yeah, let's get it, you know, see what we got going on, and we'll take it from there. So let me just go see where all systems go here. We do look good, and yeah, let's do the analysis. Very interesting day yesterday. Did end up having this, you know, JPY intervention, which was very interesting on stream. To have the JPY intervention. Those who got out on time were happy. Some got slipped. Some did not get slipped. Some got out with profits. And some, you know, did not have enough time to react. So this is something outside of our control. And it's unfortunate. London session has been very dirty. And I'm sure any other trader who would be trading it will be struggling to trade London session. New York had been clean though. New York this week has been clean. That's why during this month, actually, the last 2 weeks of this month, we have seen, well, I have personally seen most of my trades come off stream, right? And yeah, normally London session has been inconsistent. So we had a dip down, fake out of the range, close back in. And yesterday I sent in plans for buys above this zone here, which some people took and some people did not. We did have news here, so some people managed break even and some held to TP. And it did play out quite nicely, and we have had the continuation since. New York volumes been pretty clean, pullback continued, and then Asian session as well ended up continuing price up towards this 4-hour resistance here. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at the analysis overall on the daily time frame, starting as usual. So yeah, let's go have a look at this previous daily close. Beautiful daily close, very similar to these other daily close, but what we notice is that it's in this range. It's kind of a 50-50. So if we look at the first time the daily close bullish, we start from the beginning of the range, we got rejection but never broke the high. Second daily candle close at the bottom of this range after rejecting. When we broke the high, we got continuation. Third daily candle close here, even though we broke the high, we got rejection as well. But there was some continuation above the high. Let's see how much that continuation was. Only 8 pips above the high. The next time we closed from the bottom of the range here, very similar close to this close actually, we did get continuation. So as we can see, it's kind of 50-50. Just because the daily close bearish doesn't mean we're getting continuation like we normally would. And we can start to see how tight this range is becoming. It's just becoming a tighter and tighter range. It's just like a consolidation box now. Very tough spot to trade, and a lot of inconsistencies of volume. We're seeing price come in with heavy volume and then no volume. Heavy volume, and it's unpredictable what time the volume comes. I mean, realistically, the easiest way would have been to trade this is to run full stops underneath the wick here at the range, and every time it reaches into the zone, press buy and put your stops way below. But obviously that's in hindsight easy to say now. But we're not looking around. We're not seeing the same type of consistency that we were seeing you know, overall. So, you know, need to be cautious in this range, of course. And yeah, you know, the JPY pair is always tough with the intervention and stuff like that. So previous daily is bullish though, and I do feel if we can get above the highs, it will give us continuation here. 4-hour time frame, on the other hand, is made a resistance here at our 4-hour resistance. So if we bring back drawings, we can start to see how this looks. Boom. So we do have a 4-hour resistance right here, is where we've made resistance here. And I can mark that sort of something like this. And yeah, just draw a line something like this, and we can put this as a 4-hour resistance, just so we know what it is. And 4-hour. And then, you know, we have our 15-minute range from yesterday, selling down into here, The only problem with these sells is that we only have around 11 pip from where we are, and from the break of the 4-hour low we only have a 9 pip range, and I feel like price could bounce off this time, this bottom of this area at any time here, and then start to continue up and maybe play in between here. We can see this kind of rejection zone. It started off from back here in the range. Every time price dips down into it, if you look at price back here, it's very similar positioning, right? Very similar to this positioning back here, where price dips down into this zone, right? And if you were to just draw a box at this zone or a line, right? So if we draw a box something like this, and we draw a big box like this, look where we are right now, right? And then we skip to candles, we popped out of this zone, rejected top of the range. Next time what happened? We came back, this zone was inconsistent, we rejected it from the upside, went down first. When we came back, boom, rejected it again, right? And now when we come back, then we again rejected it here. Look at that. You can see the reaction. Again rejected it again. Again rejected it here, and then now look where we are today. Boom, right, hovering above there, right? So the problem I have selling into this is it could be very, very risky, and you could see heavy rejection from the upside. So selling into that, I don't think is a good idea, especially in this range here. It's not a smart zone to be selling, in my opinion. So moving down to the lower time frames, moving down, you know, to the lower time frames, we can see what we got going on here. 1 hour is kind of showing a bit of rejection here. You know, 30-minute is holding above here. It does look, you know, nice below 200. I know why everyone would be looking for sells below 200. It looks obvious, but that zone has just been risky, and we can see how that zone has been risky. This we can now, let's have a look at all our 15 levels. This can be removed. So I think if we're going to sell, selling back in this range is very responsible. Selling back in this range is very responsible. I think that's where the easy sells are going to come down into here. Around a 16 pip range we have to sell. Anything above here, I'd actually be looking for potential rejection. Try to, you know, basically get the same trade as we got right here. You know, the same trade as we got right here towards the upside. I would look to replicate that again. And yeah, I think breaking back into the range will give us the same moves we've been getting here. Break back into the range, easy push down. Break back into the range, easy push. Break back into the range. Look, every time price closes below this zone, pretty easy push towards at least this zone down here. So I would try to replicate that trade. But otherwise, you know, I was populating, if price does respect this support here, a close above this resistance to the 4-hour resistance, and to flip the daily gives us 7 pips. That could be an option here. If not, above the highs here. And realistically above these highs would be better, but I wonder if the 30-minute is clean. Yeah, if we get a 30 close above here, some sort of support, we can look for you know, that type of you know, 15-minute support to push through the 15-minute zone, and then we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, you know, we're not gonna force anything, of course. You know, we know how hard it has been, you know, on London session, so we will use that information to our advantage and make sure that, you know, we're looking for quality here. Nice observation. Did you notice that immediately? Yeah, once I marked the zone, went back and I identified it from the beginning as well. So you kind of find your zones, and then you go and look at how relevant it is, and that's how you make a decision on that, right? So yeah, we can go ahead and look at gold as well. Guess who's here? Janice in the chat. Nice to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so let's go ahead and look at gold here. Gold is actually a little bit interesting here. You know, it is sitting at the highs here. Daily time frame on gold did end up closing bullish here, and what was super interesting is yesterday we did end up making a bottom wick here, right? We did end up making a bottom wick here, but we're tapping into that 1990 zone is key here. So we're still technically inside of the range. As you can see, 4 hour just made a higher range here, and yeah, I mean, you know, it's not the easiest of spot. I rather be buying from down here up, you know, but if London wants to